Salvete omnes. I'm Mrs. Cook, and I want to talk to you for a minute about the Latin program at Winthrop High School. We have a 4-year program in Latin, which means that you can have a pretty strong academic program when you're applying to college. Most colleges want students to take at least 2 years of a foreign language in order to be admitted to a good 4-year college, and Latin is one way that you can fulfill that requirement. Latin is open to any student who is willing to work hard, study hard, do regular homework, and participate in class. Students should also consider Latin if they want to improve their English skills. You can learn a lot about English vocabulary, about English grammar, and you can also learn about the foundations of our government through our study of the Romans and what they gave us and what we've borrowed from their past. In Latin 3 and 4, we're still doing a more traditional program with translating and vocab and grammar and things like that. In Latin 1 and 2 next year, I'm excited to say that we'll be using an online book that I piloted last year, the Cambridge Latin course, which has a lot of features that make students able to work on Latin on their own and improve their Latin on their own without having to come to a teacher for help necessarily. And it folds in all the Roman culture right in the book with stories. It's a pretty neat program. But no matter which year of Latin you're considering signing up for, you should take Latin if you're wanting to learn more about your own language and wanting to learn about a language that other people are still studying after 2,000 years. We also have a big Latin club at Winthrop High School, largest club in the school, and you can't join Latin club unless you take at least 1 year of Latin. We visit other schools and have interscholastic competitions. We have an overnight convention at Camp Mechuana. These are all really fun things that will be available to you if you decide to take Latin. Everybody that wants to can do Latin, no matter whether you think you struggle in school or not. If you work hard and you're willing to work, you can succeed at Latin. So I hope to see you next year. Please ask me if you have any other questions that I can answer. Walete.
Hi, I'm Ms. Kelly.
And I'm Mrs. Cook.
And next year we're going to offer 2 new semester courses, Exploring French
And Exploring Latin. These courses are designed for all students who are interested in exploring a language other than English at the intermediate level.
The courses will consist of basic language skills and exploring culture, such as in French we'll explore the culture of the Quebecois, our northern neighbors in Quebec, and also across the ocean, the culture of France.
And Exploring Latin will include studying the culture of the Romans, who gave us such an influence on Europe, Asia, and Africa. And we're going to show you how you can improve your English through the study of Latin.
This is not a course for students who are already planning on taking a 4-year course heading towards college. Those students should take the 1 year or full year Latin 1 or French 1 course.
And students who already have credit for Latin or French courses at Winthrop High School are not eligible to take Exploring French or Exploring Latin.
Au revoir.
Wale.
Bonjour tout le monde, je m'appelle Madame Kelly. Hello everybody, I'm Ms. Kelly, and I'd love to invite you to take some of my electives next year. And they would be French 1, 2, 3, and 4. French is a beautiful language and it's spoken around the world. Not only in France, as of course we think of, but close to us right here in Maine and Quebec, and other parts of the United States, Louisiana. French is spoken on the beautiful island of Martinique, also many countries in Africa. So it is spoken actually in 43 countries around the world as either the first or second language. So it's an advantage to learn a language that can open opportunities like that to you, whether just for travel or for a career. We offer, as I said, French 1, 2, 3, and 4, so you can have the 2 years that is required by most colleges for a language, and then continue on if you fall in love with a language like I did. I adore French, j'adore la langue de français, and I love teaching it. So I hope you take me up on my offer.
Hello, I am Mrs. Biddlecombe, the music teacher at Winthrop High School. I teach band and chorus, and they are offered as semester-long classes in the fall and in the spring. If you play an instrument or you like to sing, I encourage you to take band or chorus and perform with us next year. Both groups perform many different genres and types of music, but we have fun. I also teach a course called Beginning Band, and it is a one semester long class, and it is for anyone who would like to either learn how to play a band instrument or wants to kind of relearn how to play their instrument if they haven't played it in many years. And I would love to see all of you taking my classes.
Hey guys, Mr. McCarthy here. I just want to take a brief second to take you through the courses that I'm offering for next year. When it's time to sign up, I hope you sign up for some of these. Tech Ed Wood, Entrepreneurship, Building Construction, Furniture Construction, Tech Ed Metal, Welding, Metal Arts, Drafting, and also Pre-Engineering. If you have any questions about any of these courses or would like to talk more in detail, come see me. You know where I'm located. Thanks guys, and I hope you sign up. Have a good day.
The Phys Ed department offers 3 electives. The first one we're going to talk about is the fitness class, where we'll do things like lifting weights in the weight room. We'll also introduce people to medicine ball training. We'll introduce people to using the stability ball, which is called a Swiss ball. We'll also introduce people to a method of exercising using resistance bands. So we'll introduce people to a lot of different things during the first quarter, and then people will have the opportunity to develop fitness plans that are reaching exercise goals that they are more interested in. Okay, the next elective that we offer in the Phys Ed department that I'd like to talk about is team sports. We will do sports like volleyball. We'll have an opportunity to play some ultimate frisbee. May have an opportunity to do some wiffle ball or some slow pitch softball in the spring, which also the glove is being for. We'll introduce people to indoor soccer, also do some sports like team handball, speedball, and it's a class that promotes teamwork, sportsmanship, a lot of fun. Come down to the gym, do a lot of different team sports, and that is what you can expect to see in the team sports class. The last elective that we offer in the Phys Ed department is lifelong fitness. We get an opportunity to be exposed to activities that you can continue on well past high school. So we'll introduce you to things like archery. If the snow is good, then hopefully we'll get an opportunity to go outside and do some cross-country skiing or potentially snowshoeing. We'll introduce kids to one of my favorite activities, badminton, and also potentially pickleball, which is another racket sport. And then one of the units that I think kids find the most fun is we introduce kids to inline skating. And we've taught pretty much any kid that's taken this class to learn how to skate. So if you're looking for an opportunity to try some different fitness activities, some different, more individual sports, then I think lifelong fitness would be a great class for you.
Modern America is a senior elective, and it's for the student who loves history. We study United States history from 1945 to the present day. And maybe you'd like to hear from some past and present students of what we do in that class, what the curriculum is like, and how they feel about Modern America.
Modern America is a lot of fun, and I would describe to any senior that Mr. Pullen is a wonderful teacher, and I learned so much, like Kennedy's assassination. That was one of the biggest projects in the first quarter, and I learned so much about the whole assassination, and I think you guys should come.
Modern America is a really fun class. We just started this second semester. Looking forward to a great year. It picks up right where you left off in U.S. history, so it should be pretty interesting.
Modern America is a really fun class. You learn a lot of stuff: Cuban Missile Crisis, JFK assassination. This is the model of the Daily Plaza of the assassination. I believe that there was like 2, maybe 3 shots of the assassination of JFK. We learn about, right now in Modern America 2, we're learning about President LBJ, Lyndon Johnson. And it's a pretty fun class. Mr. Pullen's a fun teacher to learn from, keeps you active, and yeah.
This year I decided to take Modern America as a senior elective, and it was one of the best social studies classes I've taken. We learned a lot about the Cold War and how the United States and Russia didn't actually go to war. It was more of a psychological battle. And Mr. Pullen's a fun teacher. He keeps everything new and relevant, and it was a very fun class.
Hi, my name is Giuseppe. I'm from Italy, and this year to improve my wonderful experience, I decided to join Modern America class, and it's a wonderful class in which we study from the Truman presidency, which we study from the Truman presidency to the JFK presidency, passing through the Cuban Missile Crisis, and I enjoyed it a lot, and Mr. Pullen has a lot of fun. He's a great teacher.
Modern America was a great learning experience. I love learning about the Kennedy conspiracy theories. Ms. Pullen's a great teacher. The class is very outgoing, and I think it'd be a perfect course for you to take.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Colton. I'd like to tell you a little bit about elective courses in psychology. Psychology is a social science. Psychologists like to study human behavior and try to figure out why we act the way we do. Why do some people follow all the rules and others are disobedient? Why do some people stop to help a stranger and others walk right on by? They observe people's behavior, they conduct experiments, psychologists analyze dreams, they administer personality and IQ tests. They want to be able to explain and attempt to predict how people will behave. Next year in the psychology offerings, we're going to make a few changes. We're going to offer an AP year-long course, advanced placement course in psychology. Because it is a one-year course, students who are in this class will receive AP credit on their transcript and AP weighting for their GPA. We'll have to move at a fairly quick pace, but we'll still have time to do some of the fun activities like keeping a dream journal and taking some personality tests. In addition to the year-long AP class, we'll also be offering a one-semester course called Topics in Psychology. This will be mostly project-based and will include some activities such as diagnosing fictional patients in a unit on psychological disorders. We'll diagnose the patients and come up with a treatment plan for them. We'll also look at the psychology behind advertising. And hopefully students will also have an opportunity to choose topics of their own interest that they'd like to investigate in the field of psychology. Because the two courses will be very different, it is possible to take both of them, though you might not want to take them both at the same time. If you have any questions about the psychology offerings, please ask. Thank you. I'm also going to speak about contemporary issues. This is a class offered by the Social Studies Department, and I had the opportunity to teach that course this past fall. It's not exactly a current events course, though we do try to make connections to things that are going on currently around the world, in the country, and closer to home. This past semester, we took a look at the apartheid system in South Africa. That study was triggered by the passing of Nelson Mandela. We also did a unit on immigration. Students have the opportunity to choose topics of their own particular interest. If you are interested in looking at opposing viewpoints, discussing, debating, arguing, this might be the course for you. Thank you.
Hi folks, I'm Ms. Kelly, and I'm the accounting teacher at Winthrop High School. Accounting is an elective. It's a one full year course, and you will receive one elective credit if you complete the course. The major focus in accounting is threefold. First, we have the accounting profession. So if you're interested in pursuing a career in accounting or any other area of business, you're going to learn about what accountants do, how much money they earn, which is a lot, and you'll just be able to explore and see if it interests you. And maybe you're not interested in an accounting profession, but you're not sure what you want to do. So maybe you want to explore a little bit. We also focus on the accounting process. What's the day-to-day activities that an accountant would do? And you actually will follow through that pattern. It's called the accounting cycle. And then at the end of the accounting cycle, you prepare financial statements. And there are two of those, the income statement and the balance sheet. You find out how much money you've earned and then the strength of the financial position of the business. So you're going to wrap all of those together, full year course, 1 full credit with me, Ms. Kelly. And I think it's a great course and I invite you all to take it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dominic Cagnata. I'm with the video program here, and I'm currently setting up some lights for an interview today. As a matter of fact, one sec, striking, there we are.
Hi, I'm Matthias Deming, and I'm framing the shot, making sure that we have a good setup, a good shot that we can use. That's one of the many things we learn about. We learn how to use the camera, we learn how to frame a shot, we learn about different shots. We also learn how to get good audio. We have very good microphones and different audio recording devices to make sure that we get very, very good productions. So actually, I think we're just about ready to shoot. So, quiet on the set.
Okay, now to edit the piece. Probably the longest part of the filmmaking process. Now what you do is choose a style that you want to use for your editing. Quick cuts, long cuts, whatever, it doesn't matter. Style is totally up to you. It's your piece. You can figure out whatever technique you would like to use. A lot of different things you can do here. Explosions, green screen, different sounds, gunshots, swords clanging, whatever you could imagine. We have it. The editing, definitely most time consuming, but in my opinion, one of the funnest parts of the filmmaking process.
Video production's awesome. We have lots of good times. You can even enter cool things like contests and win some money. Like this video, well, $500. Piece of cake. You could be earning yourself some money and learning a skill as you go. I love teaching video production and I think you'll love taking it. It is a class that you do actually have to do work in, but it's fun work. So if you like doing cool stuff like that, you should take the class. Because it's a good time, you learn all kinds of cool skills, and I'm awesome. So you want to take the class. And of course, taking video production, you get to learn how to make that movie magic, and everyone else will be like, how'd you do that? And you'll be able to say, that's movie magic.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Kaufman, and I teach a one-semester statistics class here at Winthrop High School. You can't open up a magazine or a newspaper these days without seeing some statistics. Did you know that 15% of all males are left-handed, but only 9% of females are left-handed? It's true. Statistics is the study of collecting, organizing, summarizing, analyzing, and making predictions from data. In our class, we cover two types of statistics. One is descriptive, and that's where you collect, analyze, summarize, and present your data. And the other type of statistics is called inferential, and that's where we actually do some hypothesis testing and try to make some predictions. We do lots of graphing in the class. We do histograms, which are basically bar graphs, and I've got an example of that on the board. We also do pie charts, which is right next to it. We do Pareto charts, frequency polygons, ogives, all kinds of graphing. So if you like to graph, this might be the class for you. We also do measures of central tendency. I think most of you are familiar with mean, median, and mode. But did you know that there are two other measures of central tendency that we talk about? One is this one called variance, and the other one is the square root of that called standard deviation. Those statistical measures are used to determine the spread of the data. Okay, now if you look at them, some of the formulas are kind of complicated in statistics. So we ask that you have successfully completed Algebra 2 before you do statistics. And then you're more comfortable with using these formulas. We also do a big probability, or a big unit on probability. And we start off very simply with trying to find out what the probability is of when you toss a coin getting heads. So Let me try it again. There we go. Well, the probability is 1 out of 2, and I didn't get it, I got tails, but the probability is 1/2. Then we get a little more complicated by adding some more conditions, and the formulas are, a little more involved. Do you know, and when you buy a Megabucks ticket, what your chances of winning are? Well, in order to answer that question, you have to find out how many different combinations there are of 42 different numbers taken 6 at a time. The number is this, right here. Now when you look at that, it looks kind of crazy with all those exclamation points. If you look at this little number right here, 6 with an exclamation point, you might think that that number is read 6, but it's not. It's read 6 factorial. The 6 factorial is just all of the counting numbers from 1 to 6 multiplied together. It turns out to be 720. So the number of combinations of 42 numbers taken 6 at a time is 5,245,786. That's right. Your one Megabucks ticket has 1 in over 5 million chances of winning. That's the decimal, which you can see is very, very small. Well, let's say you splurge a little bit and you decide you're going to buy 20 tickets. Okay, so your probability of one of those 20 winning is you've got 5 zeros, 381, so basically you lose one of those zeros. It's still very, very small. My dad used to buy 2 Megabucks tickets for a long time. Every week he buys 2 Megabucks tickets. And I said, Dad, you're throwing your money away. And he said, yes, but for me it's worth that $2 that I spend each week to dream about what I could do with the money if I wanted. And it's hard to argue with that. During the 1970s, also known as the Dark Ages, when I was a college student, we used to have to add up large columns of numbers in statistics. And that took hours and hours. Then we had to do the square roots and the division. Anyway, we don't do that anymore. Now, or in the early 1970s, handheld calculators were invented. And I have a picture of one. I don't even have one of these anymore. It was a calculator that added, subtracted, multiplied, and divided. And at least it took away some of the drudgery of doing those simple calculations, even though they took so long to do. A few years later, they invented scientific calculators, which did even more. They did whatever the little basic calculator did, and in addition, now we'll do the square root and powers. Nowadays, we use graphing calculators. And all you have to do is type in your data, it will sort it for you, and it'll do a lot of the statistical analysis that we used to take hours to do. Okay, and it does with a few keystrokes. We finish off our year, or our semester, with the standard normal distribution, and what we try to do is find areas under curves using tables instead of calculus, which is much, much easier. So if you are thinking that you'd like a one-semester class that might help you answer some of the statistics and probability questions that you're going to see on the standardized tests, this might be the class for you. Thanks for listening.
Hi there. I'm here to speak to you about personal finance, one of our math electives. We cover a number of topics that will be very helpful when you become an adult and you have to manage your own finances. Basic topics such as goal setting, banking, paying bills, etc., writing checks, paying bills online versus writing the actual paper checks, insurance, health insurance, life insurance, and tax preparation. Loans is another topic that we cover. Credit cards would be under that topic. Credit cards, car loans, personal loans, and a mortgage. Those are all loans that most people take out at some point in their lives, so it's good for you to understand how interest works and exactly how your credit score will affect that interest. Another topic is saving and investing, having to do with retirement or just basic savings throughout your life so that you have some sort of a cushion should you need a lot of money. And then career exploration is the last unit that we cover. We research one job that you're interested in, one career that you're interested in. You job shadow, you get to spend a day off campus job shadowing someone of your choice if you choose to decide who you want to job shadow, otherwise I'll find someone for you. You'll prepare a cover letter, a resume, and a list of references, and then you'll actually conduct a mock interview with a professional in the field that you are interested in, and you get some good feedback from professionals on how to improve your interview skills. So that, in a nutshell, is personal finance. I hope I can get some people interested.
What not to wear to horticulture? What to wear to horticulture?
When you come to horticulture, you should be well prepared. You should be well dressed, wearing the appropriate shoes, pants, and a nice comfortable shirt. Be prepared to work outside. Can't enforce that enough. Also, we will be doing a lot of readings, and we'll be also communicating with our community partners. For example, Farmer Kev, a local farmer around this area. And most of all, it's all about the plants. Come on in, we'll have fun.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Doucette, and in addition to teaching sophomore biology, I also teach a couple elective courses. The first one's Biodiversity. It's a year-long course, and in that course we do marine biology first quarter. So we'll be studying organisms of the intertidal zone and working our way out to larger organisms in the ocean. There's also a field trip to Reed State Park where you're going to go and identify different organisms. Second and third quarter we do forensics. So if you like watching CSI and NCIS and shows like that, you'll love the forensics unit. We do some stuff with document forgery and handwriting analysis, ink chromatography. You make footprint casts. We do hair and fiber analysis. And then we get into some of the bigger, messier stuff like fingerprints and blood. And then last quarter, we wrap up the class with Oceanography. So you'll learn about the different tides and currents around the world, and you will learn about the weather patterns because of the different currents and tides. Hi, I'm Mrs. Doucette, and next year's anatomy class will be a year-long course instead of a semester course. And the year after that, zoology will also be a year-long course starting in 2016. So for anatomy, if you choose to take anatomy, we're going to be studying the different systems of the human body, starting with the skeletal system, so you'll learn all about the different bones and where they're located in the body. And then we will move on to the muscular system to learn about the different muscles around the body, and you'll be labeling diagrams and such. And then we learn about the respiratory system, circulatory system, digestive system, nervous system, and all the rest of the systems of the human body. So it's a really fun class, and you'll learn a lot. If you're thinking about going into any of the medical careers, it'll definitely help you with that information. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mr. Knight, and this is chemistry. Chemistry, usually taken the junior year. It's lab-based, and I just want to show you some of the stuff we may do. This is an indicator. It indicates the acidity of the solution, so we can change it to that color. And by adding an acid, we can change it to that color, a light blue, by changing a base. And we can change this. Let's try this again. Some of this powder, it's called baking soda, and it goes over. That's all right. And once we put some in here, that changes it to blue. Stir it around a little bit. Stir it around a little bit. So, Grumpy Gus says, do your homework. It's important that you do your homework. And last but not least, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. I guarantee you, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Yay, thank you very much.
Physics is a full year course. In this course, we do a lot of hands-on projects. There is no better way to learn physics than to actually see it right before your eyes. Projects consist of acceleration vehicles, catapults, Rube Goldberg machines, and rockets. Students undergo difficult constraints, such as time, to complete these projects. Once we build a project, we try to understand how it works mathematically and then reflect on what we learned through a reflection paper. This challenging course is designed to prepare you for the college environment.
I'm Miss Bernhardt, and I teach literature for the visual generation. The focus of this class is on comic books and graphic novels, and we will be reading multiple graphic novels as well as looking at various comics. Some of the titles are Mouse 1, Pride of Baghdad and I Kill Giants. And our textbook, Understanding Comics, is actually in the comic format. Now the class will consist of discussions over the various readings as well as projects based on different topics from our textbook and readings. And the program that we use to develop our comics is called Pixton. And the final project for this class is you will create your own comic or graphic novel, and it will be shown at the art gallery in Winthrop.
Right now I'm in Art on Main, where we are presenting our comics.
And I took Mrs. Bernhardt's Literature for the Visual Generation class because I needed the credit, and I had really no knowledge of going into this class. I didn't know anything about comic books or anything, but when I finally got into it, it was actually pretty cool.
Coming into it, I had read a couple comic books off here and there, but nothing really like to learn about the creation of them. And that class really helps with the creation process of learning how to make your own comics, from gutters to splash panels and everything you need to know in between to actually make a comic that looks good and not just the same panel over and over and over again. I enjoyed this class very much, and I'd recommend taking it.
So I'm looking forward to seeing you all in Literature for the Visual Generation.
Do you want to take a fun class where you're learning lots, but you don't even realize that you're learning? If so, then Broadway Bound might be the class for you. In this class, we will watch and discuss at least 10 musicals: Les Miserables, Phantom of the Opera, Grease, Oklahoma, My Fair Lady, West Side Story, Gypsy, and yes, even High School Musical. From those musicals, we will, as a class, select our favorite songs, pull in some choreography, drag out some creative costume ideas, and produce a mashup performance. Now you might be asking, why should I care about musicals? Why do I need to know anything about a musical? Well, you'll be surprised how many references you'll understand after having studied these shows. You'll also gain a sense of confidence and presence after having worked with your peers in building this production. That confidence will come in handy when you attend job interviews, college interviews, or maybe when you're trying to convince your parents that maybe a longer curfew is in order. I'm excited to offer Broadway Bound to Winthrop High School students, and I hope that you will join me in this class. You don't have to want to have a career on Broadway to be successful. You just need to want to have fun. And if you take this class, I can promise you that you will. Hope to see you there.
Illuminated Interest is a research-based class. In this class, you will immerse yourself in a topic or two of your choice and really spend time learning about and understanding all the different aspects of the topic. Topics could be anything from the history of the pancake to snowboarding. The class will consist of discussions, demonstrations of your topic, and research. If you're looking to really focus on a specific interest you have and learn more about it, this is the class for you.
Oh, sorry. I'm Mrs. Anazuski. I was just doing a little reading about why you should sign up for creative writing. It's an elective, and the answer I would give you is simple. Because it's fun and you learn a lot. Students who took this last semester agree. Here's what they said. Tyler said, if a student is interested, I'd tell them this is a really fun class. It's not what you would imagine. It's not just constant writing. It's a small class. You get the help that you need. It doesn't matter if you're a really good writer or a terrible writer, because this class will help you improve no matter where you are as of now. Haley said, before I started this class, I wouldn't have been able to write a 2-page story with detail in an hour or less. And I learned a lot about description. I can make a person feel differently about a subject or have them have an emotion deep in them. I feel much more confident now. Sarah said, this class is good preparation for future writing and can give you good practice. You're given guidance and feedback on what you write, which is extremely helpful. I think future students looking to take this class should. Hope remarked, to the student who's thinking about taking this class, do it, and do it well. Work hard and write about what you want to write about, whether that's from some horrible event in your past to superheroes, but always write about what you want to write about. Share your views on anything and everything. That's what this class is all about. In creative writing, you'll not only learn how to write and become a better writer,
but you'll also learn more about yourself. Emily said that she took this class to discover herself and become a better writer, and she did. She created new relationships in small groups that allowed her to share her feelings more comfortably and learn a lot about what she didn't know before. Kelly said, "You can write about anything." You can write about anything that she puts her heart into, not just her mind, and she loves her work. If you can, please fit creative writing into your schedule. If you're anything like my last wonderful group of students, you will feel sad when it's over. But you'll also feel accomplished because you'll leave creative writing with some wonderful short stories, poems, character sketches, and dialogues. But even more than the writing, you'll leave with the feeling of accomplishment. There is a writer in you that's anxious to be discovered. So come and join creative writing and let that inner writer come out to play.
Good morning, my name is Mrs. Dyer and I teach visual art at Winthrop High School. The classes that I offer are for the most part year-long and for a fine art credit needed for graduation. They are Art 1, drawing, painting, stained glass, studio art, and next year there will be Art 2. The Art 2 class won't be featured in the video. It is a first year, next year offering. It will be a class that will follow the Art 1 class, or students that have taken art before. It will be a year-long class and a more sophisticated general look into the arts, studying some artists and more working with different materials and more complicated visual problems. For the video today, I have students in each of the classes that are going to speak and show a couple of things that they've done.
I was in studio art last year, and this is one of the examples of what we did last year. It was a tempera batik drawing, and it was a lengthy process, but I really enjoyed the outcome just because you see the different colors, and behind it, the black, it's chalk.
So this is an example of a candle votive. It has polymer clay all around it, which is a clay that never dries out, and they turned out really beautiful. Another thing that we did was that we created pillows with watercolors, and I really loved the outcome.
My name is Owen Latin. I'm a second-year painting student. I took drawing my freshman year, and this year I'm taking stained glass. The first project we worked on in stained glass was a Toucan Bird.
This is the design I made for my toucan, and I cut out the pieces for the shapes of the glass, and this is my color scheme for my toucan, and I am almost done with it, and that's it so far.
In drawing this year, we created portraits. So the very first thing that we did was we practiced our features, and this is one of my practices with features. And then the next step that we took was drawing them in ebony pencil, and this was one of my drawings. We started working with Rembrandts and colored pastels, and these were my two portraits. This was my first one, this was my final one.
This is my original self-portrait, and then I did an anime style theme, just because it's something that I really like. And then in my free time, I like to draw and doodle, and this is an outcome of what I did, because I got inspired in art class.
And painting is like a course. You could take it for 2 years and have 2 art credits. You don't have to just take it twice and then count for being 1 credit. And it's a really great experience to have. You don't have to know how to paint or draw or anything like that. You can come in totally unexperienced and get something out of it. You come to the class to learn about painting.
Art 1 is a class I'm taking right now, and we do multiple things, like different medias of art. We do drawing and painting. We did a hand drawing for our first big project, kind of. And now we're moving on to painting with either acrylic paints or using ink wash, which is what I'm doing. Art 1 is more of kind of a foundation class.
If you're really interested in any sort of art like this, I would definitely recommend Mrs. Dyer as a teacher. Even maybe not even painting, drawing, studio art, a number of different classes that we offer at the high school. Any of them you can get a fine art credit.
So you've heard from some students who've taken some of the courses, and my hope is that you all consider the fact that there might be a class in the art department that you would like to try. And I want you to all feel very welcome. If you have any questions about any of the courses as you're starting to sign up, please don't hesitate to come and see me.
So, I offer basically 6 courses. No, 7 courses. 7? 7?
I don't know.
7 classes. The first class I offer is Acting 1. What does it say? Acting 1 is Acting 1. I also offer Acting 2, Advanced Acting, in which we perform for different groups. Such as the grade school, we're working on the 3 Little Pigs, which is a lot of fun. I also offer Theater Production 1, in which we learn all the basics around here. Theater Production 2, which we do the large-scale paintings out in the background. And Advanced Theater Production, which you do things like, where'd they go? Guys, we do things like learn how to use a drill. We learn how to use the lights. We build things like these guys, who now are back, right there, are doing. They paint a little bit, they're doing rocks, kind of cool stuff. We're making rocks. Right here, see, under this magic tarp is rock, right? Made out of styrofoam, pink styrofoam. Carved it down to create the look of a rock. We're going to texturize it magically, make it look like it's a rock. We also do things like create fences to keep ourselves in or out or away from other things. What else do we do? We build large, follow me here. We build large poles which we can climb upon for show purposes. And yeah, my program is fun. It takes a lot more than just being in class to learn what we do. It takes creativity. And I also offer one last class, which is a script writing class, which did not run this year. I would love to run it again. One of my favorite things to do is to write mindless plays about monkeys and opossums and scientists, and you should take it. It's fun.